Excuse me while I be old for a second. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have something pretty special. I don't think I've ever really taken a deep dive into Korean makeup before. Now, while I have been interested in Korean skincare, I just really haven't picked up too much or had a lot of access to Korean makeup brands. But today, that changes. Coming to us direct from Australia, we have a haul of mostly Clio Beauty with a few other things sprinkled in. A little bit of Laneige, a little bit of Flower Nose. So I'm excited to try these all out, mostly Clio. So without further ado, let's get these lips ready. So I know Laneige is a very classic brand. What we have here is something I haven't seen in the US market. Maybe I've just missed it. This is a lip. It's not necessarily a scrub, it's a sleeping mask, but it also has some exfoliation in it. So it is the Apple Lime Exfoliating Mask. And what you would usually do is you'd put this on before you go to bed and then wake up with like beautifully smooth exfoliated lips without like any manual scrubbing. But for the purposes of this video, we'll put a little bit on now, see how it feels, wear it until we get to the lipstick portion at the end, wipe it off and just see how it feels. So we have the usual little Laneige pot. Scoop a little bit out. It doesn't have too much scent to it. It's just like very lightly apple. All right, we'll let that marinate for the rest of the video. I'm super excited to try this out. I'll have to either make a community post or put like a YouTube short up or something letting you know how it works or how much I like it. It feels nice and hydrating right now though. So now we're going to move on to some foundation. I have the Clio Kill Wear foundation. Excited to try this out. Kind of a fun little glass bottle. The Kill Cover Foundwear foundation. Bit of a mouthful to stay right there. It does have SPF of 30, so we love that. And we do like the Korean SPFs. Maybe it's like French SPF, Korean SPF. I think those are some of the top ones you can get, so looking forward to trying this. I will be applying this with a makeup sponge, so I'm going to be squirting some of it on the back of the hand, get that going. So it's a fairly lightweight consistency. I feel like it's slightly liquidy, a little runny, so that's kind of nice. Indicates it'll be a nice light coverage, which is my favorite. And usually these are nice and buildable too. And they got pretty lucky on the color match. That looks pretty good. This is definitely providing more coverage than I expected, which is pretty cool. I think I'll just have to work a little bit to sheer it out. I did want to try, the half and half, but we're gonna go a little more than half just to sheer this out a little bit more. But that's good to know if you are a more full coverage kind of girly. I also don't happen to have a concealer, so we're going right in under the eyes. We may do a second coat under there just to see how that works out. That's a lot more coverage than I was expecting given the consistency of the product. That's really interesting. It also has a very light fragrance, like maybe to cover up the SPF or just because a little bit's kind of fun. It's very slightly floral, like definitely floral, but not too heavy and there's not too much of it. It's just a little bit. So that's not even two full pumps. There's still a little left in the back of my hand. I think I'll use a tiny bit of that under the eyes and we're gonna call it good. This is pretty nice. I don't think it's accentuating texture really, no more than I'd expect a foundation to. So it isn't being too unkind in that manner. Yeah, I mean, It does look like I'm wearing makeup, but again, I didn't expect it to be so full coverage, so maybe next time I would just use a little bit less. But there's nothing wrong with it. It does look nice. It's just not super natural, but it's not too matte, not too glowy. I think it's a nice middle ground. It almost looks like I powdered it already. Oh, I forgot the extra bit under the eyes. I always need a little help under there, as do most people. I feel like even as I layered more under there, it doesn't look like you've gone overboard, right? It doesn't look like it's starting to kick up or anything quite yet, so. Next, we'll move on to some blush. Now I have two really beautiful compacts here from Flower Nose. And the nose isn't like the nose on your face, it's nose as in like possessing knowledge, like knowing something. So the excellent, lovely, ornate Flower Nose packaging for their blush. This is from a ballet series, so they've got beautiful swans on here. And the blush itself is actually embossed, so it's just beautiful. Be ashamed to dig into it. Now, since I have two blushes, we're just going to do one color on one side, one color on the other side, because I want to try them both out. Oh, that's just the prettiest soft pale pink. Oh, I know what I want to use every spring. This is just spring, early summer. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. And it's a matte blush too, which is kind of nice. I know sometimes you don't want to add too much glow. Like if you want to add glow, that's what the highlighter is for. Not necessarily the blush. Oh, that is so natural looking. Okay, so that's the side with the blush, side without. I don't feel like it's super obvious. It's just really pretty. It just looks so nice. Like I'm just a little flushed. All right, well that was cool. I can't wait to try the next one. So this next shade is in a compact that's a little more round. This is also from Flower Nose. Just the detailing on it, it's just so pretty. Kind of makes me wish the blush was something that you would like throw in your purse and carry around with you. Like your lipstick you always pull out and put on, but something this pretty, I just feel like you should be able to share it. So this shade is a little darker of a pink. Again, that lovely embossing on the product itself. These two are very similar. This one's just slightly more pink, like a little darker, so we'll see how this ends up. I also don't think I took quite as much of it. Yeah, with new products, especially powder ones, pressed powder, you have to kind of swipe in a bit to get some out. So while the first one came out a little more easily, I do think I need a little more. That's wild. This one seems to be even lighter than the other one, and that's not very bright, like very dark. Okay, so if this is May, this is April. Yeah, this is extremely natural looking. All right, well, I guess I do have a favorite. The side over here, I am biased towards strawberries, and that was the compact that had the strawberries on it along with the swans. So, you know, it had the extra bit going for it. Yeah, out of those two, like, you're going very all natural. You're going for natural, but like kicked up a notch. All right, so next up, we're going to investigate the brow product. It's Kill Brow. We're going back to Clio Beauty. This is a brow lacquer, and I don't know, it says it's supposed to help like curl your eyebrows. I was fascinated. Like this is, you've gone away on vacation for a month in like Costa Rica and you're hanging out in the jungle, like, you know, you're gonna be a little wild looking. So I'm super excited to try this out and see what exactly it's going to do. The little wand is just like typical brow products, like a super tiny, like micro mascara wand kind of thing for your brows. Let's see what happens. I'm super curious. All right, I'm going in a little bit to try to build up some volume. Okay, what do we think? Wild in a fun way. Yeah, see, it still looks fairly natural, even though there's a lot more than there was. It doesn't look super obvious like I was, drawing on there or doing anything. So that's really cool. They're just a lot more fluffy. What do we think? I don't know. It's so different from what I usually do. I'm gonna need a little time. We'll do the other side and we'll check in later, see how I feel about it. I think it helped to even them out so that we've got it on both sides now. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I feel like we're a little more bold. We're ready to go out to like a festival or something big. It's maybe not an everyday look, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it's gonna grow on me. It definitely gave a lot more volume. Usually when I get a brow product, I'm just looking for to fill in some of the patchiness, cover up the grays, that kind of thing. But this has really been additive and it's certainly done something. Next up, we have an eyeshadow palette from Clio. It is Over the Path, and this is so pretty. I feel like they took all of the best shades from the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk collection and added them into a single palette over here. So I'm very excited, especially for the True Plum shade. And then let's see, oh yeah, over here, this like champagne-y glassy pink, I think is the shade name they have here. Super excited. The ones over here, just classic Pansy Fog, I think is gonna be my favorite. Cannot wait to try this out. Although we have to start with something a little more neutral, so we're gonna go in with the color in the bottom corner over here, Be Mine. And we're gonna do just a nice coating all over just to kind of prep the eyelids for some eyeshadow. Okay, next we're going to go in with a little bit of Carve Out. I'm going to try to be as sheer as possible and then build it up towards the outside corners. All right, now I'm super excited to get into the more purpley shade over here with Pansy Fog. I think we'll be putting that in the middle and then going outwards on both sides. We're gonna save, I think, where's that champagne one? Here we go. We're gonna save this one for the little inner corner. So the Pansy Fog isn't too sparkly. It's like just a little bit of sparkle. So you could wear this around during the day. I love it when colors in a palette just look like they belong together. Like the Pansy Fog is fading really nicely into that brown shade. I don't know what it's called, the Carve Out. They're just working so well together. All right, now we'll have a little bit of fun with this glassy pink shade right here to finish off the look. This looks a little more glittery. So we're going from day to night right now. Yeah, there's definitely more sparkle in this one. I don't feel like it's too much. I feel like it's just like a little bit of extra fun. So maybe we're not quite at the night territory, but we're happy. I like it. Yeah, the colors of the glitters, it just feels like everything in this palette really is made to work together with each other. It felt so effortless to put this on and just try to blend it a little bit. And here we are, it just transitions so nicely from one to the other. All right, let's move on to some lip tints. We have these chiffon blur tints right here. We have number 15, which I think is Cranberry. Yes, Cranberry Topping. So we'll try this out. I feel like it came out more pigmented than I expected, considering it was a blurring lip tint. That right there is made for popsicle lips. So it doesn't feel very matte. Like, it sort of has a matte look to it, but it really doesn't feel that way. I mean, I put it on over my lip mask, but still. So the Cranberry Topping is super cute. I think we have one more color, Fresh Beet Juice. So let's get this off and let's try out some Fresh Beet Juice. So this Cafe in Love Chiffon Blur Tint. Let's see. So you can see the applicator. Fairly typical. I do like the angle on it, makes it a little easier to use. Not very thick, a little thinner. That's wild. It looks so matte, but it doesn't feel like a matte lipstick. You know, when you put on the matte, it just has this drying sort of effect. It's just like super comfortable, powdery, really pretty. Again, ultimate popsicle lip look right here. I haven't done that in a while, so that's kind of fun. Chiffon tint, yes. Sort of feel like I'm channeling my inner French girl, just like blurring out the lipstick a little. Alright, and then the final thing I have to try is a little bit of gloss. So let's top off this lip look with a little bit of the Crystal Glam Tint. So you can see this gloss is fairly pigmented. It's a nice pink. It should match nicely with the lip blur we have on right now. It's a little more pinky. Definitely more pigmented than I expected out of a gloss. It's very creamy. It feels so thick, but without being thick. Like, it's crazy. Like, the viscosity of it is just, it's thick. But I didn't put a whole lot on. Maybe because it's over that powdery lipstick. Yeah, that turned out fairly nice. It's not too sticky or glossy looking. Doesn't smell like anything either. I know a lot of times lip glosses can really have a potent fragrance. All right, so let's see how we're doing. The brows have definitely grown on me after looking at them for a few minutes. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. It's kind of fun. Like a laminated effect, really. And I've never really done that before, so it's kind of fun. I don't feel like we've settled too much into any lines. I think over here where I used less blush, I think we're doing a little better. Where this blush was so sheer, I just kept putting more on. I feel like we have kind of gotten into the fine line territory, being exaggerated. But otherwise, I feel like we're doing pretty well. It has a nice feel to the finish, very satiny. It doesn't look like it's really drying me out too much. Yeah, okay. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed trying out these different K-Beauty, most of the Clio brand products. I think I have a brand new favorite blush. The Swan one with the strawberries on it is just beautiful over here. And I cannot wait to play around with that eyeshadow palette some more. So if you also had a good time here, please give this video a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.